think you do. And so I cry and I pray, I beg, love me, say that you love me, fool me, go on and fool me.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about why sophisticated women struggle to find love. Now, before we get started, I just want to say, I want to give a shout out to all the independent women out there that pay their own bills, pay their own car note, pay their own house note, went to college, educated yourself. If you didn't go to college, you got yourself a job you stayed dedicated to, and you were able to do it without a man. I want to congratulate you on that. So if we have any women out here that are not getting praise for being independent from a man, you're getting it from me. And I'm only praising maybe 60% of women, because you only have about 60 to 70% of women that are actually out here grinding hard. And that's a big number. That is a big number, but that's what you have out here grinding hard, right? But you want to know why you're struggling to find love? The first reason why you're struggling to find love is MGTOW and Red Pill. And you have so many other dating coaches, but everyone's saying the same thing over and over again. You have more men that are actually waking up to what women are actually doing, because more men are kind of like, hey, our mom didn't teach us this way about a woman. So it's piquing a lot of men's curiosity to watch how the universe is changing. So that's one reason that you're not finding love, is because everything that you're doing is really not attractive to a man. It's attractive to another woman. So a lot of these guys are waking up to see the mentals of a woman. They're waking up to the laws. They're waking up to feminism. They're watching other men be destroyed. So now you're gonna have a hard time finding love, because it's seeped into the younger generation. The same way feminism is seeking into the younger women, MGTOW and Red Pill is actually sinking into the men. So while you guys are gaining your independence, men are being taught to not even marry you anymore. So you have the success, but the problem is you've made yourself a sex buddy. That's all a man look at you as, is just a sex buddy. So finding love and finding a man to be dedicated to you is going to be one of the hardest things in the world to do now. And the only person that you can thank is the women before you that impose this. Now, what you have to understand is, a lot of you women think that you can't find love. It isn't because a man won't love you, it's because you want a man that's on a higher status than you. So if you're making $60,000 a year, you want a man that makes $120,000 a year, because you feel like that's what you deserve. But a man knows that your overall goal is to find a man that makes $120,000 a year, so you can quit your $60,000 a year job to go start a family and take half of what he got. See, you built yourself up value to where if you stop working, or you stop going to school, you stop doing the thing that boosts your ego, you can always throw it in his face. So it's your goal is to find somebody that's doing better than you, so you can eventually stop working 60 hours a week and 70 hours a week, and then you can fall back and be a housewife and just spend all his money. But you're gonna make sure he's making way more money than you before you do it. The sad part is, you call that love. Men are waking up to this. You have men that have the money, but you have less men that want to spend it on women like you. See, what you have to understand is, the cheaper woman, the free woman, is the most expensive. See, you're the type of woman that's gonna want to compete with this guy all the time. You're the type of woman that's gonna want to be a headache. The more sophisticated you are, the more of a headache you are. It's easier for men with money to just go with escorts. You get the best sex in the world. They're gonna treat you like a king for that little bit of time that you're at. And it's gonna be cheaper than taking you out to dinner and spending all this money trying to compete with you. A man don't wanna compete with his woman. So when you're dealing with a sophisticated woman, she has so much to prove that you find yourself in a relationship where both of y'all are competing with each other and you're going in opposite directions. See, men 10, 20 years ago were falling into this trap. That's the trap. Men thought that they were getting a good deal if they got a feminist woman that's out there doing her own thing. But when they started getting with these women and marrying these women were allowed to talk to them any kind of way, treat them bad in the marriage, and then take half of what he got whenever they got a divorce. Where you had so many men that have went through that struggle, and then comes the internet boom, and now everybody's on the internet. So a man is able to see what he's getting himself into before he gets involved. So you have less men that are willing to get involved with the game that you're playing. See, your success is only attractive to another woman. That's how come you can get around weaker women, right? And you can tell them how successful you are, and they just love you to death. Oh my God, girl, she's so successful. She's so independent. She's so strong. We want to be around her. But a man doesn't want to be around you. See, it's only very few women that are going to experiment with other girls because they think, oh man, you know, I'm going to experiment with this girl because I hate guys so much. Believe it or not, you have less women that are actually doing that, even though the media is trying to make it look like it's a normal thing. It's really not. It's not normal for a woman to curl up with another woman. That's just how it is. It's not normal for another woman to hold another woman at night and pretend to be the dominant one over her. Because majority of these butch women out here that are pretending to be men would get their whole entire face rocked off when it comes to a man. They'll get their face beat in. See, you guys are trying to do this equal thing. Like, look at the UFC fighter that y'all, oh, transgenders, they're okay. Until that transgender man jumped in that UFC ring and knocked that girl's teeth out and dislocated her skull. Now y'all want to say something. No. See, sophisticated women, you're so smart that you're terrible. A man doesn't have time to play a psychological game with you anymore because, for one, let me tell you why. When a man becomes successful, when he starts looking at a woman, he starts looking at what's going to be more valuable to him. So a successful man isn't going to look at a successful woman that done aged herself trying to compete with a man. He's not going to want you at all. And a lot of y'all independent, sophisticated women are baby mamas trying to attract a man with money. A man with money want a girl who looks good, suck good dick, has good sex, shut the fuck up. That's what they're aiming for. That's it. I've never in my life came across a man that says, I cannot wait to marry me a girl with a master's degree. I cannot wait to marry me a girl who is just working 70 hours a week, sleeping with everybody. By the time these good guys get a sophisticated woman, she done been the side chick to like 2 other bosses. She been banging the boss at the job. Men know this. Successful men, right? When we date women like you, it's only the good for sex. So guys like us aren't gonna want you, and then we spread the word down to other men that haven't experienced you yet. And then guys that have experienced you and have bad experiences are spreading the word. So between you and the Me Too movement, it puts a pause on men where men are like, hey, hold up. Women are changing. This shit ain't looking right. This ain't looking right. So the sophisticatedness is actually phasing out. The same thing with feminism is phasing out due to the fact that more men are MGTOW and more men are red pill. See, you have to understand this. Life moves in trends when these movements starts working. Remember, like when segregation ended back in the late 60s, early 70s, segregation ended. And then we had equal whites where a lot of black people had the rights to work in the same building as white people. So a lot of these businesses had to hire the same amount of black people as there were white. So a lot of white people lost their jobs because they had to fill those jobs with black people. And then you had a movement where the gays came to scene, and the gays wanted equal rights, so they had equal rights amongst gays. So the gays actually, it was their boom to where they came into the workplace and the job started hiring more gays because they started getting their rights, which slows down the hiring of both white and black. And it was based off of the homosexual world, which put a lot of homosexuals in power to read other homosexuals to hire in order to even the scale out. That's how life was moving. And if you look at today's world, you have a lot of gays, you have a lot of blacks, and you have a lot of whites that are all in the workplace. The workplace has become one. So then feminism had its role where it was coming into the world. When feminism started becoming this thing and it turned into a movement, now a lot of women came in fast during that movement and got jobs in high positions, and you started seeing less gays. You feel what I'm saying? But you kept seeing blacks and whites there. It's just that you started seeing more women and less men at the job because that's what the trend was in at the time. That's the trend that we're in now. So now the world is getting ready to move into a different trend. It's going to be the transsexuals. So you're going to start seeing a boom in transsexuals. You're going to see a lot of transsexuals at the job. You're going to see a lot of transsexuals that are actually becoming bosses because the world is getting ready to move into one of those trends again. So the feminist trends is almost at an end. And the reason why it's almost at an end is because a lot of women are waking up and realizing like, oh man, we may be too masculine to get a man. Because now you have like female MGTOW groups that are agreeing with men not to want to be with women because of the laws and the rules that are established for a woman to win and for a man to lose no matter what. Now with the feminist movement, women can get away with everything. The Me Too movement can get away with everything. Women are finding it okay just to say, hey, he raped me, he raped me. Look at Antonio Brown, look at what he's going through. Like, he goes through all of that and then you come out and say, he raped me. And then you say, no, I just want the money. I don't want him to go to jail. Come on, that's the world we in. Like, you sophisticated so-called independent women don't even know how to be a con artist right. Y'all don't even know how to scheme right because all of y'all are doing the same scheme. All of y'all are trying to get attention the same way, and that's making a man look evil. He raped me, abuse. A lot of these situations may be true, but it's happening so much and so much false of it. So many of these false situations are actually coming out that it's kind of like, wow, now what rights a woman has, you've over-feminized yourself. You guys have abused your power that now women are looking at other women like, man, she lying. She's just saying that to get a check. You're about to have more women that turn against women that are abusing feminism. You're not gonna find love because it's not, what word am I looking for? If somebody's watching this, there's a word I'm looking for. It's not intriguing for a man to do it anymore. It's not intriguing for a man to be with you. Men are more attracted to those girls that are like they're probably more attracted to more foreign women now. And the reason for that is because foreign women are still showing that they're old school and that they still have morals. Not too many of them out here are sexualizing themselves, and not too many of them are out here trying to like be the boss at a job. Like trying to outwork and work a man 60, 70 hours a week and forcing your body and your mind to go through all these changes. You don't have too much of that when you're dealing with foreign women. So a lot of you sophisticated women, you're gonna have a hard time dating, but your dating is about to vanish, to tell you the truth. Like, the MGTOW movement is growing so fast, and the red pill movement is growing so fast that you actually have women that are about to start joining us. Because they see the kindness in you. They see how the world has changed and why it's off balance now. You're gonna forever struggle to find love. The best thing for women to do right now is you have to stop. If you want to find love, you have to find a way to make yourself a woman again. You're gonna have to. A lot of you women are not becoming women until you have completely depleted yourself. Nowadays, women aren't becoming women till they 60 years old now. You got 50, 40, and 50-year-old women that putting 10-year-old pictures up on the internet, and guys are like, oh my God, you look good. But she not telling them like, hey, my picture's 10 years old, but they getting out here using that for confidence. You're seeing women walk around the gym with a powder makeup on their face because they refuse to get old. If you want to refuse to get old, don't age yourself at a young age. Learn to be healthy and live a healthy lifestyle when you're young. But you got to accept the fact when your grades start coming in. Stop being delusional. Nowadays, we're in a world where everybody is so delusional. This is why you're struggling to find love, because the men always think logical. More men are waking up. The only delusional men that are walking around are the homosexual men, because they have the same hormones as a woman. Those are the only ones that are just delusional as the women. Though only the gay guys are actually backing up feminism because they feel the same way as the woman. But the rest of the world is kind of like, hold up, man. Hold up. This feminism going too far. If a man really wants sex, he can pay for it now. And it's kind of like okay for him to do it because he's spending less money trying to be with you. So until women return to being women, be prepared for a shift in the culture and be prepared to be more lonely than what you've ever been. Because the world's changing. MGTOW's on the rise. There will be a change in you. And we're going to keep going till women turn back to be women. Comment, like, subscribe. This is Anthony Spade. Let's get this popping. Hasta la vista.